Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 2885 Northwest 153rd Avenue here in Portland. We're located at the front of the home. We're just off to the left of the front doorway. We have a 4-inch cast iron cleanout as our point of access. I'm going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Currently have water running. Here we go. Transitions here over to 6-inch diameter clay pipe. It looks like we've got a root intrusion right at the top of the pipe here. We lose our view of it once we go past this transition joint, but there are roots starting to make their way through there, it looks like. And possibly another root. That's looking more like cobwebs at the top of that pipe joint there. Transitions here at 18 feet over to concrete pipe. And immediately looking at it here, we've got a fair amount of aggregate rock showing through in the flow line. And this appears to be the terminus here. I'm going to locate to see where this is at exactly. Hey, located the camera head successfully here. It looks like it's fairly deep. The signal's coming in a little bouncy, but I did 2 different locates, and it appears that the main lateral runs underneath the sidewalk. We're going to let the line continue to drain out here for a minute before reeling in. Alright, anyway, it looks like it's underneath the sidewalk here. The amount of aggregate rock that's showing through is concerning. The concrete, it's still functioning, but you have a joint like this one right here. If you look right kind of where the flow line stops at, that joint is separated and opened up there by at least an inch, if not possibly more than that. It's a spot where you could have water escaping the line. But when the aggregate starts showing at this point, you're about where rocks are going to start breaking free from that. It's basically at just about the end of its lifespan. For that reason, I would recommend updating this entire line by doing an epoxy liner. You could do it the old-fashioned way and dig it up, but I think in this circumstance, with as short as the line is, and kind of where it travels under the sidewalk there, I think it would be a good way to go, and fairly cost-effective.
The thing is that you have roof fans set. There's an attic fan somewhere, but you have...
If you go the route of digging this up, I would call for locates. I am getting some really bouncy locates here, no matter whether I'm right here or out at the end of the line. The depths are bouncing around between 7 and 15 feet. There might be underground utilities or something throwing off the locator. It's kind of hard to say, but I would recommend doing that. But I really think that your best repair option here would probably be to do the epoxy liner. The line drains out nicely. It's got good slope and grade throughout. This time it's still functioning. There's a couple joints there that I cannot verify or guarantee aren't letting water escape. They've pulled apart enough and have worn due to the aggregate rock wearing out to the point where they might be letting water escape the line. So anyway, you don't necessarily need to do it right this minute. And again, we have a root intrusion right here. Given that we have roots coming through at this point, and possibly right here as well, and then the aggregate rock issue, it's a good time to do an update here. If you let the concrete wear too far, you can start getting holes opening up in it. The pipe can collapse. That's still, some time down the road, and I'm not talking 20 years, but I mean, it's one of those I would recommend getting on top of it before you get to that point. So from right here at the cast iron transition out to 20 feet, I would recommend updating the line. And again, I'd call for locates here. For whatever reason, that last 10 feet of the line roughly is just, the locate's bouncing all over the place. I'm able to get the signal moving around. I can tell I'm on top of it because I'm moving my camera 3-4 feet and I'm seeing the signal move, but the depths are just all over. So make sure you get that done if you go the route of digging. And then while we're here, we're going to pour water down the downspout and see if it's tied into this. We just put almost a gallon of water down the downspout right here next to the cleanout. I am not seeing anything come rushing through here. Now, it appears that it is not connected to at least the sewer line. And I don't see any other tie-ins out further, so that does look like a separate system. I'm going to go ahead and reel the camera on out of the line here. Again, due to the root intrusion and the combination of that and the worn aggregate rock, or the concrete pipe that's showing through there, I do recommend updating the line at this point. Like I said before, it still has good flow. It is getting debris from point A to point B. As far as the water goes, it wouldn't surprise me if water was escaping through one or two of those joints. And it just is a good time to do an update before that concrete gets any worse. Make sure you do a rescope after the repair and make sure the repair looks good.